Heartbeat 103.9 FM, broadcasted from our Mossel Bay studio.
Goeiemiddag, jy is ingeskakel by Heartbeat FM 103.9 en 107.4 en vanmiddag kan jy saam met my 𝐏𝐨𝐰𝐸𝐿𝐴 hierso op Heartbeat FM, ons gesels munisipale sake en ons het vandag 𝐏𝐨𝐸𝐿𝐴, Senior Manager Electrical Services van die Mossel Bay Municipality. Welkom by ons 𝐏𝐸𝐸.
Middag Heidi en baie dankie vir die geleentheid om inligting met julle te deel.
Ons gaan lekker gesels. So ons gaan hierdie gesprek in Engels doen. So sit net rustig en dan beantwoord ons al julle vrae vir julle. Okay, so 𝐏𝐸𝐸, what is the extent of electrical losses in the Mossel Bay Municipality area?
The benchmark set by the National Energy Regulator of South Africa, or NERSA as we commonly refer to it, for electrical distribution losses is to be lower than 10 to 12%, with losses being calculated as the difference between the energy purchased from our bulk supplier, Eskom, and the total of energy sold to consumers in our area. The losses are a combination of technical and non-technical losses, with technical losses being the mostly unavoidable, and it's the sum of energy lost in the distribution system. For example, energy lost through heat generated in transformers or in conductors and cables. That value is approximately 5%. Non-technical losses are avoidable, and these occur because of non-metered consumption, theft, or electrical energy and billing errors due to inaccuracy, all of which are avoidable. To eliminate monthly swings on the losses value, the losses are calculated as a 12-month moving average percentage. The electricity losses for Mossel Bay has steadily increased from about 11% in 2020 up to a current value in June 2025 of 16.9%, with the worst increase being in the last 12 months, where the loss percentage increased by about 2%. Translated into monetary terms, this means that approximately 100 million rand of the total annual Eskom bill of 600 million is lost and not sold on. So clearly this is a very huge amount, and it is a big and concerning problem for us.
Okay, 𝐏𝐸𝐸, what is the municipality doing to curb electricity losses then in this case?
There are a couple of interventions. The first is meter inspections, especially on prepayment meters. You'll remember there was a big program in the last couple of years which we call the TID rollover. But the inspections don't stop there, and we are continuing with targeted inspections which are performed by our appointed contractor. Consumers are identified that have potentially tampered with their meters, and then we do an inspection, and if found to be true, then we issue the consumer with a fine. The supply is cut, and only after payment of the fine is the supply restored again. We also do meter inspections on our large power consumers, so these are what we refer to as bulk consumers. These are also audited. Together with the South African Police Services, the Public Order Policing Units, or commonly referred to as POPs, we perform operations for the removal of illegal connections at informal settlements. Unfortunately, although a large number of these illegal connections are removed during the operations, the reality of the matter is that most of these illegal connections are reconnected within the next couple of days and following the operation, so it remains an ongoing problem. So we need to keep going back and remove them. Our current plans also include for more regular operations between electrical services and the municipal law enforcement department to identify and cut illegal connections. For example, the action currently being implemented is to inspect electrical connections of the many shops in our residential areas, and there has been success with that program. what we're also embarking on is improved measurement of the energy balance and losses using an expanded network of check meters, which enables us to pinpoint the areas where the losses are the highest so that we can focus our attention on those areas. Then what we need to do is also unmetered consumers need to be brought into the system. So subject to the availability of our INEP grant funding, the ideal solution is to provide service connection to all the consumers in the informal areas as part of the UISP program, or the upgrading of informal settlements program. It must be noted that Mossel Bay Municipality received no electrification grant last year from the National Department of Energy and Electricity, but we did do some electrification with own funding. And this year we have received the grant again, so we have resumed the electrification with the grant funding. The sad reality is that the grant funding is nowhere near enough to address the electrification backlog, and there's actually it's going to take us years to catch up to that.
Sure, ja, ongelukkig. That is the sad reality of that. Why are some informal settlements still not electrified?
So the municipality connects approximately 500 new consumers under the electrification projects annually. But as I mentioned earlier, the grant funding isn't enough to cover or to catch up to the backlog. The electrification of informal houses is funded by the Department of Energy and Electricity through their National Electrification program, and the following criteria must be met. The houses must be in areas that are proclaimed and are suitable for settlement. The houses are not or should not be in floodplains. The houses must not be in private land, and the houses must not be erected under power lines or within servitude. So those are all factors that can prevent a informal settlement to be electrified.
Baie dankie Morney. Ons gaan nou gou breek vir 'n musiekbreek. So ons is nou weer terug vir julle. Ja.
Heartbeat 103.9 FM, broadcasted from our Mossel Bay studio.
My lewe wag vir my, reënboog vol beloftes voor, want gister is verby. Al my drome, ek gaan dit haal, want ek vlieg hoog. 'n Arendsvlug op 'n vaste koers met engel aan my sy. Die berge kan maar follow my, want ek weet ek is vry. Ek sprei my vlerke oor, wat ek kan. Hoor as die storms van die lewe is onder my, hoor as die wolk van die verlede is agter my, hoor as die son na die lucht, ek vlieg hoor op die wind van die Here se genade rondom my, hou ek my oë op die denkpaal voor my, hoog bo die son na die lucht, ek vlieg hoor. My asem sal nie opraak nie, want sy asem is in my. Ek weet ek sal nie moeg raak nie, want sy hande dra my. As ek val, tel hy my op en sê jy kan. Niks kan my meer bang maak nie, niks sal my onderkry. Wat sal 'n mens aan my kan doen, want ek weet ek is vry. Ek sprei my vlerke oor, ek vlieg oor. Hoor as die storms van lewe is onder my, hoor as die wolk van die verlede is agter my, hoor as die son na die dis onder my, hoor as die wolk van die verlede, dis agter my, hoor as die son na die lig, ek vlieg hoor. Op die wind van die Here se genade, rondom my, hou ek my oë op die windpaal, voor my, hoog bo die son na die lig, ek vlieg hoor. Hoog bo die son na die lig, ek vlieg hoor. Hoog bo die son na die lig, ek vlieg hoor.
En jy is ingeskakel op Heartbeat FM 103.9 en 107.4 en ons is weer terug met munisipale sake hier op 'n Woensdagmiddag. Morney, die volgende vraagie is: what fines can domestic customers expect for tampering with electricity?
Yes, Heidi, a part of our losses problem is obviously also consumers tampering with the installations. And that's the reason why we do these inspections and these audits, is to determine where these transgressions occur. If a consumer is found to be tampering, there is a tampering fee as per our tariff schedule of 2,918 Rand. This is if the meter can be reused. If the meter is not, if the meter can't be used again, then it's the 2,918 Rand plus the cost of a new meter. Repeat offenders can also be permanently disconnected and could face prosecution in extreme cases. What we've also started doing now is that we are allowed to issue Section 56 notices to transgressing consumers, which means that they have to appear in the municipal court in connection with the tampering.
Okay, then the next question: can you highlight some of the dangers associated with electricity distribution equipment?
Thanks, yeah. This is some information we'd like to share with the community, just to tell them what to look out for and what to be careful of. So keep the following in mind. Power lines should never be touched or cut, even if they appear to be dead. Lines that look like they have been tampered with should always be reported to the municipality. Never enter into fenced or enclosed substation areas. Wiring used for illegal connections is often not insulated, and these wires lie across floors, across the road, and even over open felt. So this is extremely dangerous, as even small amounts of electricity can kill people. People that make illegal connections and tamper with meters often charge the consumers for this service that they provide, but keep in mind that they normally ignore safety precautions, and this puts users at risk of electrocution. For the kids, don't play with your kites beneath power lines or near power stations, and if the wind blow them towards the infrastructure, don't try and remove your kites yourself. Keep away from broken power cables and any electrical wires. Don't climb into trees or other structures that are close to power cables or illegal connections. And lastly, don't touch any power lines with any objects, for example, sticks or long pipes or metal rods. And don't throw shoes over the power lines. You would have noticed some areas there's always a pair of shoes swung over the lines. Please don't do that.
Okay, Morney, then the last question: can you give us a brief overview of the legal requirements pertaining to electrical installation?
Yes, Heidi, the customers are not allowed to resell electricity without a written permission from the municipality. Be on the lookout for criminal syndicates who often pose as legal providers and offer you their services at a fee, but that income never comes back to the municipality. In terms of electrical installation regulations of the OSH Act, the user of electricity is responsible for the safe use of electricity that he consumes and must ensure that any extensions, modifications and repairs to his installation is undertaken by an accredited electrical contractor. The laying of cables from customer distribution boards to other customers for the sake of distributing electricity to buildings on adjoining properties is strictly prohibited. The use of non-SAPS compliant material on electrical installations is not allowed. The bypassing of electricity meters and protective devices is prohibited. No unauthorized persons or organizations are allowed to work at municipal supply points. And lastly, electrical distribution boards or circuits that are not properly labeled can also cause serious accidents.
Maar nee, baie dankie dat jy al hierdie vrae so gemaklik vir ons geantwoord het. Dit gee vir ons almal ook net regtig 'n baie goeie algemene overview. Het was baie lekker geweest om jou hier te gehad het in ons studio.
Baie dankie vir die geleentheid. Weer eens, totsiens.
Vir enige navrae kan julle die munisipaliteit kontak by 044 606 5000 of julle kan vir hulle e-pos stuur at admin@mossel.gov.za. So, tot die volgende keer, van my kant af, Heidi van Heartbeat FM, tot ziens.
You're listening to Heartbeat FM 103.9.
Jerusalem, ikhaya lami, ilondoloze, uhambe nami, zungangishilana. Jerusalem, ikhaya lami, ilondoloze, uhambe nami, zungangishilana. Dawo yami ayikholana, buso wami awukholana. Ilondoloze, zuhambe nami. Dawo yami ayikholana, buso wami awukholana. Ilondoloze, dawo yami ayikholana, buso wami awukholana. Ilondoloze, zuhambe nami. Dawo yami ayikholana, buso wami awukholana. Ilondoloze, Jerusalem, ikhaya lami, ilondoloze, uhambe nami, zungangishilana. Jerusalem, ikhaya lami, ilondoloze, uhambe nami, zungangishilana. Dawo yami ayikholana, buso wami awukholana. Ilondoloze,